We look at the various religious perspectives on homosexuality.
I remember saying that I'm not changing. I literally said that I am not changing. I'm not changing. This is it. And my experiences have helped me to see that change is possible.
Janessa used to be a lesbian. She says a divine encounter changed her life. Now she believes that homosexuality is wrong and that other gay people who want to be changed can as well. In this multi-ethnic and multi-religious society, beliefs about homosexuality differ widely. Janessa's religious beliefs were once a source of conflict in her life, a war waged between her feelings and what she had been taught about homosexuality.
So it was something that religiously I fought with, but the feeling of itself, no, I slowly relinquished the feeling because it was not unreal, it was very real.
The fundamental questions that people ask of religions include: are people born homosexual? Can they be converted to heterosexuality? And of course, is homosexuality wrong? For the most part, religious leaders agree that homosexuality is a disruption of the natural order, which is that sexual relationships are reserved for a man and a woman.
It closes the door to procreation. It closes the door to the gift of life, because two same-sex persons cannot create a human being. Can't.
I believe with all my heart, if they continue in that lifestyle, unconfessed, no confessing to the Lord for the sins to be forgiven, and they die in that state, I believe that they will definitely split hell wide open.
Where the various religious bodies differ is on the question of whether a person is born gay and what type of life that person should live. Secretary General of the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha, Satnarayan Maharaj, says homosexuals have always existed within Hinduism.
Not because nature has somehow or the other passed him by as a male human being. Must we as human beings set him aside also? We must ignore him. He is part of the society. If we have deformed children, he is somehow or the other sexually deformed.
The church believes that there are tendencies. We acknowledge that people will have tendencies towards being gay or lesbian, homosexual tendencies. So that itself is not a sin in the view of the Catholic Church. What becomes a sin is when one acts on those tendencies.
But members of the Evangelical Christian Church differ radically in this regard.
I do not believe that a homosexual is born a homosexual. I tell you why. If a homosexual is born a heterosexual, how could God then condemn them? If they were born that way, they had no choice. Homosexuality is a choice. Men, women, of their own volition, with their own will, decide to take that type of lifestyle.
We also sought out the position of the Muslim community. In response to our request, Anjuman Sanat ul Jamaat, or ASHJA, issued a letter written by its first Vice President, Kamal Hossain. Although it does not explicitly state ASHJA's position on homosexuality, it can be inferred. He writes, "Through the AIDS epidemic, millions have already perished in the disastrous path of physical disintegration, which emanates from sodomy and the compelling urge for the unnatural."
A lot of gay lesbian people are faith practitioners. People have embedded beliefs. They believe in God. And one of the toughest things for them is to wrestle with this notion that I experienced this. This is who I am in a profound way, and I am doomed. And young people commit suicide. We've seen cases very recently in Trinidad and Tobago.
Some faith practitioners have allegedly been hosting services specifically for members of the LGBT community. But while this may be so, many still continue to feel isolated from their faith because of their sexuality. Tomorrow night, in the final part of our series, we continue with our discussion about religion and the LGBT community.
No, not as the same as adultery. Why it may be a rank higher is because it is directly against the plan of God for mankind, for family.
That series being done by Golden Leaf.